everyone, Alex from Escape Domain here today to show you the new OzTrail Deluxe 3 canopy, or gazebo rather, if we're talking in Australia, or pop-up canopy for my US peeps. This is a fantastic little gazebo. There's some really nice features that set it apart from many other types of gazebo. So I'm going to get to those, but so this is as it comes from, I got it from snowies.com. Came very quickly on time. It's fantastic, and just want to show you exactly what comes when you receive it, what comes in the box, and then we'll also delve into some of the cool features that it has. Bust it open. So, great, so we've got some nice rugged clips holding everything together. We've got a storage bag on the side. So let's have a look at some of the storage bits and pieces. So there's our canopy cover. Lovely. So let's have a look. Open her up. Okay, so there's the frame. So this is literally the first time I've opened it, and I was wondering where the pegs were. They've actually got the pegs in a separate pocket. So in the past they've only ever had the one pocket where you store your canopy cover. I'm going back a few years now, it's been a while since I bought from OzTrail, but they've actually included an additional peg pocket. That is actually really useful because I was constantly losing my pegs when I put them in this pocket, especially when you're kind of tipping it around, putting it in the car. So it's really helpful having a dedicated little pocket on the side. So we've got our pegs as well, so that was the only other thing I was looking for. We have the two types of peg in there. We've got the typical ground peg for securing your guy ropes or your ropes, and then you've also got your tent pegs or your tent stakes for securing the feet of the canopy into the ground. So we'll kind of go into that in a bit. Nice big carry handles on the case itself, nice and comfortable, and there's a base plate. I don't know if I can show you here, but in the bottom of the canopy, in the bottom of the bag, you see it has a nice sturdy plastic bottom. Some bags don't come with that, and that can cause big issues because the other companies, when they sell these, is because the canopy can actually, over time, force its way out of the bag and start wearing the bag at the bottom. That's where gravity's pushing on it. So it's really nice to have that base plate if you go over any bumps and that kind of thing. The rollers, not too bad. Yeah, fairly basic rollers, nothing special here. These won't really help you get across places like the sand, but you know, for wheeling around on the hard surfaces like concrete, absolutely fine. And fairly robust. So yeah, not too bad. Now open up the gazebo and see how easy it is to put up, and have a look at some of the features. Now, while it is still a little bit low, but it's somewhat spread out now, let's put the canopy top on while we can still reach everything, especially seeing as we're by myself. This is a whole bunch easier if you have a superstar friend with you to help you. However, I don't, so I'm just going to show you how to do it. If you are caught by yourself, you can do it. It just takes a little bit longer. Right, so now you want to lock in those legs, and you might need to continue to spread out each leg. So now we've got the canopy top on. Now we need to, before it gets too high, we need to start thinking about locking down some of these corners. So for this one, for this particular OzTrail canopy, we've got little clips. So they just are on a tightening ratchet like that. That's as simple as that. You also have one on each corner, and that's it. We're looking now at the anti-ponding corner brackets that OzTrail has built into the canopy. Now these are an absolute fantastic innovation, and I don't see many gazebos like this, but they essentially, the corners are where you're most likely to get pooling or ponding of water, and it pulls the canopy top down. I haven't pulled this properly down yet. It essentially makes big sagging pools of water in the corners of your tent here, and left long enough, they will either destroy your product, destroy your frame, or they're going to drench you. They're all of a sudden going to release water and throw water everywhere, and you get out wet. So they're a real pain in the bum. So these corners, these anti-ponding brackets, essentially just push that canopy up and maintain a nice firm outer canopy sheet, and that means that the water is just going to fly off the top, and it's not going to sag there. So a really neat little innovation. Doesn't add too much weight to the overall product. It's still sitting at about 25 kilos, which is pretty standard for a gazebo of this size. Alright, so let's have a look at some of the extra features, or some of the features that stand out to me with this gazebo or canopy, with the OzTrail Deluxe 3.0. Whilst this canopy material itself is actually 300 denier, so denier is just a thickness of a measurement of thickness, essentially, and so this is 300, the normal stuff, which is actually quite robust. But some of these areas, so you notice here we've got this extra patch of material, so that's actually 600 denier. So on the areas where there's sort of high wear, OzTrail has opted to put these thicker patches, which I think will really help over time with the keeping your canopy really, not tearing, not putting holes in things. So the other areas where they have it are at the points at where the anti-pooling struts come out. So they've got some more extra padding there, and also in the corners, so which is really fantastic. Up at the very top of the gazebo, you'll see you have some air vents. So they essentially let hot air rising out and sort of try and cycle that air through, so you'll tend to feel a bit cooler underneath. And that top piece is also reinforced. So yeah, so just some really neat features. The clips themselves, so these parts of the canopy here that put the legs up and down, really comfortable to use. So they just click in. So normally you just have an exposed pop rivet, or exposed pop stud rather, that clicks into the steel leg. So they're normally really annoying to press, whereas the OzTrail has, and I'm just doing it with one hand, so it's a little bit tricky. See, there's little nice connections here, really nice to use button, very easy, there's no tension there for me to press. So that's another nice little feature. So now we're ready to tie down and secure our gazebo to the ground. It's always a good idea to do this, even if you think, oh, the wind's not too heavy today. Just do it anyway. You just don't know when a gust of wind's going to come. These things act like a parachute. I've got a very funny video on the website, well, funny for us, but a whole festival of canopies and tents go flying. So it can happen. So the two types of pegs that you get in your kit, you get your classic tent peg, T-peg, not actually sure what the technical term is, and the inline peg like this. So these are for the feet of the OzTrail, and these are actually pretty great. You don't always get these, so these go into the feet, and these are used on the guy rope or fly rope for the corners of the gazebo. And your gazebo, it has an anti-slip little mechanism here, little clip to make sure that your that the rope doesn't go anywhere once it's laid out. So let's just have a bit of a look at that in action. These go into the feet. Now yes, I would normally use a rubber mallet. Could not find it before I wanted to come and record these videos, so normally use a rubber mallet or whatever you have lying around the house. And so with this mechanism, you just hook the peg in. Hope I made that look easy, but yeah, so now you can use your tensioning mechanism to make that nice and tight, and you do that on all four corners. Other than that, that's all you need to do. So get those corners down, get those pegs in the feet, and you're good to go.